go! It's trick-or-treat season, baby. Goons and goblins. And this one little trick will make learning radio comms easy. Easy like Sunday morning. Let's talk about that thing. Let go! Hey, learning radio comms can be one of the most challenging things that you go throughout your pilot journey. It's something that can really make you feel uncomfortable, particularly in the very beginning, because you may jump on the radios and start listening and everything sounds like they're speaking German. Everyone is speaking so fast, they're abbreviating everything, and everything's just moving so quickly. And you're trying to remain in control of the aircraft and be pilot in command, and then learn a whole new language on top of that. Who wouldn't find that to be challenging? So first and foremost, you need to understand that you are not alone. If this is the position that you find yourself in, everybody and most people in general find that learning the radio comms in terms of their pilot journey is one of the most challenging experiences that they have to go through. You're learning new terminology, new nomenclature, and you're learning how, of course, to translate that and speak that very quickly and efficiently and concise. So there's an easy way to kind of help you in one lightest little trick that we're going to get into that can really help accelerate your learning. There are no shortcuts in the game, but you can do certain things that can help make you remain consistent and accelerate the learning curve and the learning process. Let go! To fully understand the solution, we first must dissect the problem a little bit. Why is it learning radio comms is so challenging? What are the challenging elements about it? And if you really think long and hard about it for a second, why you can learn certain aspects. You can learn your takeoffs and your landings and your maneuvers. You can do those. But for some strange reason, you learn radio comms and you're getting comfortable with it a little bit slower than some of the other elements. A lot of that is because of the lack of exposure to those radio comms. If you think about some of the other maneuvers, you can always jump inside a simulator, or you can do the free version where you're just sharing and you can go through those maneuvers in your flow pattern and do all those favorite things. If you're looking for free ways that any pilot can improve, there's a video on this channel that goes through about 5 free ways that any pilot at any level can always be constantly improving. And chair flying is definitely one of those things. If you want to understand the other 4 things on that list, link at the end of this video. Where the links be at? One time. So you can always get those maneuvers down simply because you're understanding the chair flying and you're going through the motions even when you're not in the aircraft, and you're learning a lot about it on the ground before you get into the aircraft. So that way when you jump inside the aircraft, some of those things, that muscle memory, you can have that always down pat, and that flow, and a lot of the things that you go through when you're doing your takeoffs, when you're doing your landings, or performing any of your other flight maneuvers. So what can you do on the ground, because you want to learn as much as possible on the ground to help you get good with radio comms? One of the reasons why it's challenging is because you're only listening to the radios when you're inside the aircraft. And that's one of the mistakes that you don't want to make. If you only being bombarded by all this language and all this verbatim and nomenclature and everything that's happening only when you're doing your flight, that's 30 minutes or your hour lesson or whatever you're doing, that's not enough time to really get comfortable at anything, because that's a limited amount of time on the radios. And if you're flying with your flight instructor, particularly in the beginning, and they're really controlling the radios for the majority of the time, then it really doesn't give you an opportunity to practice much at all. So that is the problem. So how can we fix this problem? Or what is a nice trick or solution for this problem? Let go! Boom! And what is the solution? The one trick that can help making learning radio comms very easy for you? Drum roll, please. Questlove, one time. Hey, boom! You want to download the Live ATC app. Whether you have an iPhone or an Android, you want to go inside the App Store and the Live ATC app. You can also search this on your laptop, on your computer, liveatc.net, just to get a feel for what it's about. It is a free app. The Live ATC app is a free app that can provide tremendous value for you in your pilot journey. What this app allows you to do, it allows you to listen in on radio communications from any tower or ground in airports all around the world. This is a beautiful thing. So you're not just subjected to those that are in your nearby area, but you can also chime into others in the surrounding areas in different states and various other places as well. This is of great value to you if you use it effectively. And here's several ways that you can use this thing effectively. When you fly out of your airport, you can go download this ATC app, and then you can begin on the ground, again, in your spare time, listening to the tower at your local airport that you fly out of for your flight lessons. Listen to the ground. And one thing, when you start listening, you're going to start becoming more familiar with the language and everything that's happening. Think about it like learning a foreign language. If I was to just dump you into a foreign country and you had to learn it because everyone was speaking it, you would learn it pretty quickly. It would expedite your learning curve. So that's the process that we're doing here, but you're doing it on your own free will and voluntarily. So you're going to listen to this app. Let's just say you give it 15 to 20 minutes a day. You listen to it while you're standing in line somewhere, maybe on your commute, and you're listening to your tower communicate with other pilots as they're in the pattern, as the planes are taking off and landing. And you're going to start to notice something. You're going to start to notice that the same sequence of words and phrases are being used quite frequently. And there's a reason for that, because the same patterns and the same sequence of events is happening. And when you get into the aircraft for your lesson, you're going to be saying a lot of those same things. When you hear a pilot enter the traffic pattern, when you hear someone take off, when you listen, if you're listening to the ground and you see someone taxiing at a certain point, a lot of the same things, they're being given a lot of the same instructions. They're replying with a lot of the same things back. That's the kind of things that you want to become familiar with, because when you get into the aircraft and you get ready to take off and maybe go to that practice area, you're going to be given a lot of the same instructions. So it's going to be familiar with you and inside of your mind. And when you have that locked inside of your mind, it's going to be easier for you to communicate. You're going to start to get the rhythm down, the speed of communication, the sequence of events, what's being said from both not only the air traffic controller, but also, of course, the pilot themselves. You're going to start to understand the two-way communication and how it flows. This is going to help you in great detail throughout your pilot journey. Think about it like this, in using this analogy. Think about listening to your favorite album. Whatever genre of music you enjoy listening to, when you listen to your album, it can be a fresh new album that just dropped today, and you log on and you start listening to it. If you keep listening to that album, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes here, an hour here, a week goes by, 2 weeks goes by, 3 weeks goes by, all of a sudden, you start picking up certain phrases that's happening within the album. You start remembering choruses to songs, certain words and verses, whole verses. Next thing you know, if you have your favorite song, you can repeat the whole song word for word, all the verses, all the chorus. Why is that? That's the beautiful way our mind works. You start listening to things so often and you start getting into the sequence of events, all of a sudden it just becomes memory to you and you can start to really get into it. That's exactly what this app is going to help you do in learning radio comms. So you can listen to your own specific airport that you fly out of, and you can listen to the ground, you can listen to the tower, and you can become familiar with the sequence that's happening. So that way, when you do go to your lesson and you jump inside the aircraft, that isn't your first time listening to radio comms. It isn't that, oh, the last time you listened to radio comms was the last flight you have. You've been listening periodically for the days, the weeks, however long it's been in between lessons, just giving it 15, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes here, an hour here, and you've picked up on a few things, and now all of a sudden you're starting to get that rhythm down. Just like you remember those verses and words to your favorite album, and those words are just starting to flow for you, and the sequence of events is starting to flow for you, and now you're in that thing. Hey, boom! This one trick, if applied effectively, can tremendously expedite the learning curve for you with radio comms, because now you have a tool at your disposal, a free tool at your disposal to expose you to radio comms every single day throughout your pilot journey. You can't ask for anything better than that, baby. Hey, what up, though? Don't forget to like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel. It's the set, baby. Leadership mindset forever. One time, I am Donovan Batiste. Hey, this is Leadership Mindset, a place where you can come for free and fun videos about everything that you need to know for you to become a pilot. Because I want you to feel what pilots all over the world feel when we swinging and banging that thing. Hey, love you one time. Subscribe to this channel.